Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me for another episode of the Kayleigh G Show. I'm Kayleigh G, and I have so much to talk about today. February is here, it's my birthday month, and it's also the first month of my brand new Patreon. What is a Patreon, you might ask? Well, it is a platform where I can share all kinds of exclusive content, monthly live streams, written correspondence, birthday cards, newsletters, you name it. I'm all about it. I've got a link in my bio so that you can check it out too. I don't want anybody to think that my show is going to stop or change, because it's not. It's just that patrons through my Patreon page will have access to more videos, more songs, all kinds of stuff. So please check it out when you get the chance. I still will be on Twitch twice a week, 8 p.m. Eastern for the show premiere, and then on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern just to catch up and see how everybody's week was. That stuff's not going to change. I'm just giving you guys more access to more stuff so that we can really get to know each other better. And the first 25 folks who sign up for the Nashville and the Philadelphia tier within the United States will receive a free enamel pin. So thank you so much in advance for being a part of this, checking it out, and just being here and watching the show every week. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. This week, I'm so excited to have my good friend Arun Bali of Saves the Day on the show. He engineered, produced, played on All These Miles, and here's an excerpt from that conversation. I would watch the hell out of you shredding on your Instagram. I'm just
all right.
I'd love to see more guitar shit, because you are
I'll gain weight.
One of the best guitar players I've ever met. And
thank you.
And so I actually remember, I think it was one of the demos while we were recording All These Miles, where you were like, I'm just gonna play around a little, and like you do a couple of chords and then you just ripped this guitar solo that obviously didn't make it into the song but was just so perfectly used.
I wonder if it's in that session.
It probably is. It was fantastic.
Touring in general is just like it's, you love it and you hate it, but the things that like you probably like, I'm not thinking about the things of tour that like I hate, the hours of sitting around or like, nothing to eat around in the town you're in, or whatever. Like I just miss being out there. I haven't played a show since November 2019. Saves was going to start a tour with Third Eye Blind last March, and we flew to Seattle in the middle of when Seattle was ground zero. And I remember because all of our gear lives in Nashville, so I had to like pallet it up and like ship it. And like I remember sending that off and thinking in my head, like, I bet you we're just gonna have to send it right back. This I don't understand. Like it, just from seeing what was happening in like Italy and like other places at the time, like you just did there was just such an arrogance about like, this could never happen here. And even flying to LA or flying to Seattle, and I'm texting my manager, I'm just like, are we really doing this? Like, am I really getting, and it's like, we couldn't cancel it. Like we had to wait for them to call it. So we fly out there, we rehearse. Like at the time there wasn't mask wearing, it's just hand washing, social distancing, like I'd be walking in a grocery store and I'd see like somebody down an aisle, I'd like going the other way. Like, I took it pretty seriously. And then the morning of the first show, Washington State had like, at that time they were like, no gatherings above 250. And so that show got canceled. Oakland, I think, was actually before that. And then
what was the date of that first show?
I want to say like March 13th.
Okay.
So I think I flew out there around the 8th. I was there for a few days. We rehearsed out there. And then the morning of the first show, basically I wake up on the bus and our tour manager was there, and it was like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, just finding out if we have a show tonight. I'm like, oh, it begins. And then we just flew home the next day because the whole thing got cold.
And also later this week, for those of you in the Patreon in the Nashville and Philadelphia tiers, I'll be posting an additional video from that conversation with Arun where we chat about All These Miles and how it was made. For this week's song, I really had no other choice but to play something from All These Miles. So I thought, why not play Jamie? And try and remember all the violin parts that I wrote. So this is Jamie. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching another episode of this show. Please check out my Patreon. And as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Every time my plane shakes, my thoughts go right to you. And I still can't figure out just what that means. Grab my armrest if I got 'em. Hold my breath and swear the bottom's gonna swallow us, but the attendant's smiling. Haven't heard a thing from you. Still were talking about school and how you thought that might be better for you now. You wanna teach photography, age with grace and dignity, but you never granted that last one to me. Oh, Jamie, think that's what I heard you call from some girl who never liked me out in Portland. Oh, Jamie, if you're thinking of me now, I hope you know that I don't need no explanation. Ain't it strange to see our friends, the ones who knew us way back when, they're getting married to different people we don't know. Some I do, but from a context, the world is just too small to connect all the people and the places and you. Oh, Jamie, think that's what I heard you called from some girl who never liked me out in Portland. Oh, Jamie, if you're thinking of me now, I hope you know that I don't need no explanation. 'Cause when I touch down, I'll go ahead, pack my bags in single file, leave again. Different year, different town. So don't you worry, I stopped holding my breath, hoping I'd see you around. Every time my plane shakes, my thoughts go right to you. And I still can't figure out just what that means.
I got a blue check on Instagram. My posts go to
People-
the top now. That's
Exactly.
So I'm just a better shit poster now.
I was just gonna say, but it's not like I ever comment anything that's worth being seen before anybody else's.
Yeah, I get most.